tick, boom.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to What Up Clay. This channel we talk about all kinds of things, how to fix things, build things, maintain things, as well as product reviews or anything that comes across my desk. Today there's going to be a part 1 video of how to pick the proper solar panel for outdoor life, outdoor camping, or for your trailer or any other type of outdoor activities. So this video is just going to be about the panels. They're not going to be about the controllers or the batteries. We'll get in those videos later. So let's go into this and learn something. So before we get started, I'll let you know that all this information is my personal opinion. I can make a video that could go an hour, 2 hours long on all the information about solar panels, all the information about the installation designs and techniques and so on, and the controllers. However, I'm going to make this a quicker video. I'm going to break it down by the basics on solar panel knowledge, what you should be looking for, and the different types of panels and so on. What I'm going to go over is I'm going to go over the solar panel types, the voltage of a solar panel and what it means, the wattage of a solar panel and what it means, the amperage of a solar panel and what it means, as well as the different types of installations of a solar panel. I am not going over home solar panels because that's a whole nother world, a whole nother big video. Information out there is always changing. So again, this is just for the camping, outdoor life, outdoor activities, and so on. Here are the 3 different types of solar panels out there. You have the monocrystalline, the polycrystalline, and the thin film. The monocrystalline and the polycrystalline, to the untrained eye, they look exactly the same. However, they are totally different. The monocrystalline is the most efficient and has the highest output. But the disadvantage is it's the most expensive and it's also heavy. The polycrystalline is a lower cost, but the disadvantage is it's lower efficiency, lower power output, and it's also heavy. They weigh about the same amount as the monocrystalline. Now keep in mind that the polycrystalline, some of the materials used in the polycrystalline is a byproduct of the monocrystalline. So I'll kind of show you the difference in performance and how they're made there. The monocrystalline is basically going to be the superior one when it comes to power. The thin film has a lower cost, lightweight, easy to install, extremely versatile, and extremely portable. What I mean by extremely versatile and portable, the thin film is very thin. It's flexible. You can mount it on curved surfaces, flat surfaces. You mount it on surfaces that cannot handle a lot of weight. And then when you're done with it, you can roll it up and you can store it away. However, just make sure you don't bend it in half. Now, the lower efficiency is the disadvantage of the thin film, as well as lower output. What I mean by lower output and less efficiency than the monocrystalline is if you have a monocrystalline and all these panels are the same size, monocrystalline, polycrystalline, and thin film. If you have them all the same size, the monocrystalline is going to put out more power, it's going to be more efficient, and it's going to last longer as well. So those are the differences in the panels. So the most important thing you need to know, so you can make sure you get the right solar panel, is to know how much power you need to draw from these solar panels. What's the current draw of the solar or the devices that you're going to hook up to them? Let's say you're hooking up lights. Let's say you're hooking up lights that are going to draw approximately 5 amps worth of current, and you're going to have them on throughout the night, which let's say is 10 hours throughout the night. That's going to be a total of approximately 50 amps that you're going to draw from the battery. So when the day's time comes, the sun comes back up, you have to make sure that your panels are going to be able to replace that 50 amps that was just pulled from the batteries. So if you have 5 hours of daylight, let's say that your solar panels only see 5 hours, you're going to need panels that can generate at least 10 amps of current to go back into the batteries. Therefore, they can charge it up in that 5 hours. I would recommend getting something more powerful than just 10 amps. I would recommend getting like a 15 to 20 amps worth of power. Therefore, if there's a cloud or anything like that interrupts it, you'll still get the juice that you need. So, in the next part of this video, I'll explain what the voltage is. I'll explain what watt is and amperage and all this stuff and how to figure that stuff out. So, if you have any questions on this part, by all means, throw your question right there in the comments section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, or somebody will help you out. Here I have a data plate from a solar panel. I'll go over the numbers and show you what these numbers mean and how to calculate what you will be looking for your project and what you'll be using it for. So right here, start off with power. Power is 180 watts. So power is also wattage, and wattage is power. So if you ever see either one, they're all the same. And on that, also that current is the same as amperage. So if you see something with current, they're talking about amperage, and amperage, they're talking about current, so on. Voltage, it's always going to come up as voltage. So you look at the power is 180 watts. Voltage is 18.95 volts. Current is 9.5 amps. These three right here are the important numbers that you look at. The other ones here down below, I'll go over those and explain those in a little bit. But these right here are the important ones that you're looking for. Now you're looking for most devices out there, whether it's a light, radio, charging your batteries, or what have you. Most of the systems are going to be 12 volts. So you're probably looking at this right here going 18.95 volts. That's too high. Majority of the solar panels out there, just about all of them, are going to be higher than 12 volts. The 12 volts is regulated to a device through what you call a solar controller, solar panel controller. You'll need one of those to go between the solar panel and whatever device you plan on hooking up to the solar panels. I do not recommend ever hooking a device directly to a solar panel. Is it possible? Yes, but chances are you can blow either the device or the solar panel itself. Always go through a solar controller. They're not that expensive, and they're very nice to use. So, power. Sometimes you'll have a solar panel will list the power or the wattage, and also list the amperage or the current, but it won't list the voltage. What you'll do is you'll take the wattage and you'll divide it by the amps. So in this case, it's 180 watts divided by 9.5 amps. You'll come up with 18.95 volts. And then sometimes you'll look at something and you'll be looking for wattage, but all that gives you is the voltage and the current. So you'll go voltage times the amperage, and you'll come up with the wattage. So if you take 18.95 times 9.5, you'll come up with 180 watts. That's how you calculate that. You'll see other numbers like this, like open circuit voltage, VOC, or you'll see the short circuit current, and so on. Those items are not what you're looking for, because what this is, the VOC is 23.9 volts. What that means is that this panel, without a load, if you had nothing hooked up to it, is going to put out 23.9 volts. And if you short the system out and you like a split second shot of a current, it's going to be 9.87 amps. That's what these numbers mean. So we just went over how to read the data plate or read the data for finding the right amount of power that you're looking for your solar panel. So let's now look into how to mount your solar panel. What I have here, you'll see, is this is the back of a solar panel, regular hardback solar panel. As you can see here, there's holes. Right here, there's approximately 8 holes. Some will have less. I don't know of any that have more, but there's holes. These are the mounting holes. Now you can also screw into the side of these ridges on some of them, because there's about a 1/2 inch between the panel itself and the side brackets, the side trim. So let's go over the different mounting brackets. These here are different types of brackets. There's plenty of different brackets out there, all shapes, sizes, whatever type of mounting you want to do. These are the more popular ones, the more basic ones. So they have brackets like this that you want to mount on a pole. It doesn't have to be a pole that's in the ground. It could be a pole that's mobile. This is a bracket right here that if you do have a solar panel that doesn't have holes in it, which I haven't seen, but you can use this right here to mount your solar panel if you want to mount it in a specific way. That this right here clamps on to your solar panel trim, and then this part right here you can't see the hole, but this right here is screwing to whatever you want. This right here is for this section here would screw into your panel. This right here would clamp onto some type of pipe or something like that. Something like this right here you'd use that type of clamp because you'd crimp this right here onto the sides here. This is your another basic Z-bar style clamp. This right here is another Z-bar bracket. I'm sorry, this is not a clamp, it's a bracket. These are different type of wheeled carriers that you can use for solar panels. I've seen some people just go down to a hardware store and get a dolly and convert that to a dolly for a solar panel. But these are the types of brackets and stuff you use for a hardback panel. For a flexible panel, you can use stuff such as this. This right here is it's an adhesive sealant. It's water resistant. And this right here is butyl rubber double face tape, double stick tape. Make sure you use the weather resistant or weatherproof type of tape, as well as if you want to use Velcro because you want to be able to take it on and off, you can use this as well. Keep in mind though that solar panels will sometimes get really hot on really hot days. The stuff here might come loose. You have to make sure you prep your surface extremely well. Clean it, do whatever, make sure it's cleaned and prepped very well. But these are some of the different types of adhesives and glues you can use for the flexible panel. Also for the flexible panels, sometimes they come rolled up. You can take them and put them out in the sun where it's hot. Lay them out flat. You put weights on the corner, whatever, until they're perfectly flat. But anyhow, these are the ways for mounting your solar panels. Now let's get into the wiring. The wiring would seem pretty intimidating. The wiring that you see coming off these things, you'll see is very thick. Don't be intimidated by it. All this is, the thick coating on it is just the shielding of it, because it has to be, the wire inside has to be shielded from all the environmental hazards, the heat, the cold, whatever. So, and it has to be able to do it for 15, 20 years, however long people have these panels on like roofs of their houses. But for portable reasons, these things aren't usually out in the weather for such a long time. So you can actually cut these wires, and inside you'll see another wire. It's just a single wire. That's all it is. It's shielding with a single wire in there. The wire inside is usually about a 14 to 16 gauge wire. If you want to know which one's positive, which one's negative, sometimes they'll say right here on the cap on the back. If it doesn't, you just pop this thing off, and inside it'll tell you which one's positive, which one's negative. Or you can look at the ends. The male end is going to be your positive, and the female end is going to be your negative. So if you don't want to use the different connectors out there, and you just want to hardwire this directly to a battery, or not a battery, but your controller, you can do that simply by snipping these wires off using the wire inside. So let's go over the different connectors. These here are different types of examples of different type of connectors. You have these right here. If you want to extend the wire out, you can see the red right here is the positive, and this will plug into the male side of the solar panel. And this right here is the ground, which will obviously plug into the ground side of the panel. Now remember, a panel is nothing but pretty much a battery. There's a positive and negative. There's no data wires coming off. There's no fiber optic lines coming off. There's nothing. It's just a power and a ground coming off it. If you want to install multiple panels together to get more wattage, more amperage, you would what they call wire them in parallel. When you wire them in parallel, all it does is it keeps the voltage output the same, but it increases the power, the wattage and the amperage by whatever power panel you're connected to it. So if you have a 100 watt panel, you connect to another 100 watt panel, now you have 200 watts. If it's a 5 amp panel and you connect it to another 5 amp panel, now you have 10 amps. That's how it works. If you wire them in series, then you're looking at doubling the wattage and the amperage will stay the same, but you're doubling the voltage. And you're adding the voltages together. So that you don't want to do. I don't know, maybe you do. It's up to you. Depends on your project. So when you wire in parallel, what you're doing, you're connecting the positives together and the negatives together. So like this right here, these couplers here, you'll connect all the positives to this one, and then you'll connect all the negatives to this one, and this right here will go out to your controller. If you want to, they have Y adapters such as this cable right here. They have this right here has 2. They have 3, they have 4, they have 5. You know, however many pounds you want put together, they pretty much have them. Now, this right here is a tool that removes these connectors, right? So you can unplug them. Without this tool, you can still unplug. It just makes it pretty hard. You have to use screwdrivers and stuff like that. So I highly recommend that you get this tool right here when working with the panels, and you're going to keep these plugs. So this concludes my video on solar panels. If you notice, I did not go over the exacts on how to install them. I tried to make this video as short as possible. There's a ton of different videos out there, different types of installations and ways to install them on your traders or dollies or whatever type of device you want to install the panels on. I could go over a lot more details on panels, but what I share with you is pretty much the basics and all you actually really need to know. I feel that you need to know if you're just doing a portable solar panel or camping or something like that, just basic system. Anyhow, I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you didn't like it, hit the like button and subscribe anyway so you can watch all my other videos and make fun of me. All right, everybody, you take care.